How are we all doing today, people? It's Revival of Wisdom, and today we're going to get real deep. This video is going to get real deep. A lot of people are not going to be ready for this sort of knowledge. Okay, you really have to do is to really deprogram the mind, because everything we've been taught is a complete lie, is to keep us trapped. Okay, this is really advanced knowledge. Now, let's get straight into this. All of the ancients depicted other worlds, and they called this place Midgard. Midgard is the mid-garden, the middle garden. This is why the Masonic symbolism on the floor is always a black and white checkered board, symbolizing the polarity here, the good and bad, because we're in the middle garden, the heart. Earth rearranged spells heart, because we're in the heart of this system, or whatever it is, a super quantum computer, whatever you want to call it, simulation. Now, in the Quran, it talks about the 7 layers of heaven. All of these ancient artworks are depicting these different layers of reality. Okay, and look at the Egyptians here with the boat outside of the firmament. Boats travel on water, and this is exactly what the Masons are doing. So they're still using the same symbols. Why? Because it's the same knowledge, just hidden. The Egyptians have the same knowledge as the Freemasons. It's just hidden. Now, this cosmology that they're showing here, which is probably made maybe 100 years ago, this painting or artwork, is the exact same as the one we see here, with the arch, the boat. You know, it's similar, because the boat is symbolizing traveling these other worlds, because the ether is also symbolized as water, because if you look up at the stars through a telescope, it looks like it's water. It's shining through water, because this ether, whatever this substance is outside of this world, was symbolized as water. Okay, and look at all these ancient depictions showing these different layers of reality. Now, we are being trapped within this 3D dimensional world, which is the cube, the Saturn cube, because there are 6 sides to everything in this world: front, back, left, right, up and down. 6, which is the cube, because we're in the Saturn, Saturn's world. Okay, now, always been depicted as a tree of life, the tree of the universe has always been depicted as this tree. Because let's get a bit deeper. Now, the cosmology of this reality is the sun, the moon, and Polaris, always in the Masonic art. The sun, the moon, and Polaris, the all-seeing eye. If you go inside of the temples, of the Masonic temples, they always have this star in the middle, shining light beams. Okay, look here. The light beams coming from the big star in the middle, which is Polaris. This eye is God. It's God's light shining down from his abundance. Now, when you astral travel, you will see this big ball of light above you, and this big ball of light is God. But you cannot travel towards it until you are pure. It doesn't work like that. You have to become formless. You have to become pure before you can become one with the light. In all these Masonic artworks, it's all depicting the star in the center. This star is Polaris, because Polaris is the way out of this place. And this is why you see the stairway to heaven all the way up to the light beam, the light source. What does it say in the Bible? God is light, because everything is made out of one substance, and that substance is light. And it symbolizes the eye, because God is an eye. All things that are alive have an eye. And we all say, I am. We all see these realities through eyes. God is an eye. He's the all-seeing eye. He sees all things at all times. And he is projecting this light. And this light comes down to create all the different levels of the worlds. And this is what the 2 pillars symbolize the number 11. 11, the number 1, is just a vertical line. It's the 1. It's a 1 point. 11 symbolizes the mirror nature of reality. Everything's mirrored. As above, so below. Now, the 11 also symbolizes openings, doorways. And as you can see here, an opening to the all-seeing eye. And you see here again, an opening to the stairway all the way up to the light. This light is the light of God in the astral worlds, beyond this world. Now, Polaris has also been symbolized as the UFO. They put the truth in plain sight. So you know in the films how the UFOs suck people up. That's what Polaris is doing. If you ascend beyond this world, if you do not ascend beyond this world, you will be reincarnated in this world. The whole thing is to outgrow this consciousness to the plane above. And I'm not just making this up. I'm going to be bringing in scriptures after this. But you can see with the Christmas tree, we always put a high, big star at the center, at the top, which is the star of Polaris, which is exactly what the Masons are doing here. The star at the top. And it's on top of our Christmas trees. And all of these symbolize the other stars, because Polaris is the most high star. And all the other stars are wrapped around the firmament lower than Polaris. And that's exactly what the Christmas tree is. And it's a triangle. It's a triangle, just like light beams travel from one point in the triangle, just like the all-seeing eye. It's a triangle. The light is coming from one point and sending its rays downward. You see, it's kind of like you see here with the water. And the lower you go, the darker it gets, the more evil it becomes. And this is what the ancients would call hell. Now, this all-seeing eye is Polaris. And below Polaris is Mount Meru, the North Pole, the magnetic North Pole. The Tower of Babel, which is in the Bible. The etymology of the word Babel, Ba meaning spirit, which gives the ability to move the soul through the worlds, that's the ancient Egyptian description of the word Ba, meaning of the word Ba. You have the Ka, the Ba, the Ak, but the Ba is the one that gives the ability for the soul to move through the worlds. Your soul can't speak into a world without incarnating into it. Now, the Tower of Babel symbolizes Mount Meru because it's the word Ba is the spirit which gives the ability for the soul to move through the worlds. The Tower of Babel is the magnetic North Pole, Mount Meru, which gives the ability to move through these different worlds. And you can see the ancient Tibetans always showing this depiction of these different worlds coming from the center. Because we have to ascend our consciousness. It's not about how good you are to reach heaven. It's about how you expand your consciousness, you expand your mind. So they teach now that you have to be good in order to reach to heaven. It's about expanding the mind, expanding your consciousness to these different planes, these different realms. So that's what it's about. And Jesus was known as the fisher of man. Now, Jesus is a massive part of this. He was known as the fisher of man because he was fishing. He could have been fishing. He could have been one of these deities that had come down from these different higher realities and pull people up. So they called Jesus the fisher of man. And he says unto them, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. So these deities that we see in the past, like Buddha, Krishna, Hermes, Thoth, Jesus, could all be these entities who were coming down to pick up the minds that were worthy enough to see the higher planes of reality. And this is why they called him the fisher of man. Now, when Jesus walks on water, there is a parable with Paul. And he says, but Jesus immediately said unto them, take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. He's talking about astral travel here. He's talking about leaving the body. Because when you leave the body in astral travel to see these alternative realities, you can't be afraid because fear is a bondage, which is what the Emerald Tablets talks about. Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. The water. Come, he said. And Peter got down from the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. When you become afraid in astral travel, you sink back into your body. Lord, save me. So this is talking about Jesus pulling people up into different realities. And you can see the fish is the symbol of Jesus. Is another symbol of Jesus, a fish. Because fish symbolize deep occult knowledge. Because fish travel the depths of the ocean. And they symbolize us because we are fish underneath the ethers. And Jesus was pulling people up. You see, so the Bible is a people today believe the Bible is a book telling you how to reach to heaven, how to become godly and reach heaven. But you've got to become the Jesus Christ to see these alternative realities. Now look at the Emerald Tablets is a massive part, and it speaks so much about these different realities. Look what it says here. This is in Emerald Tablet 3. Then in my heart grew a great longing to conquer the pathway that led to the stars, which is exactly what the Masons depict in all of their art. Look, the ladder to the stars. And then he goes on to say, years after years I sought after wisdom, seeking new knowledge, following the way, until at last my soul in great travail broke from its bondage and bounded away. Broke from the bondage of the body. Free was I from the bondage of earth men. Free from the body, I flashed through the night. The stars. The stars are a massive part in the astral world. Each star is a different reality. And the true astrology is the star that you came from. You came through a star to reach this, to reach here. There is a reason why you are here. There's a reason why you have the personality traits, because your soul came from a specific star. This is why we call them stargates, because they are gates in and out of this reality. And Polaris is the way out to the higher worlds. Now look, far into space, my soul traveled freely into the infinite circles of light. Beyond knowledge were some planets and great gigantic beyond dreams of men. Then he goes to say, lift up your flame from out of the darkness, fly from the night and ye shall be free. Lift up your flame. Your flame is your soul, because it has to be lifted up out of the darkness. This is the darkness, this world, this body is the darkness. because it's a bondage. You need to break free. You need to learn how to astral travel, people. You have to learn this. If you want to get out of this world, you have to learn how to astral travel and see the other realities. Traveled I through space-time, knowing my soul at last was set free, knowing that now I must pursue wisdom until at last I pass to a plane hidden from knowledge, known not to wisdom, extension beyond all that we know. So he's talking about he went to a place where we cannot even comprehend here, a place that was not even known to Earthmen. He's telling you he's ascended out of this world to the planes that are beyond. And it says here in the Emerald Tablets, man is in process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Grows he in time to the formless, a plane on the cycle above. Know ye must be one, ye must become formless before ye are one with the light. The light, the same light that I was talking about, the Masonic light, with the triangle, God, the one source. Ye must become formless before ye are with the light. Formless, you have to leave the body. You have to leave the body. You have to gain the ability to leave this body and travel to these other worlds. Now, it says here, not as man am I, for free have I become of dimensions and planes. In each I take on a new body. In each I change my form. Know I now that the formless is all there is of form. You see, all things created come from the things that, all things that you see come from the things that you cannot see. All of us have the same spark of consciousness, the same I am. Every dog, every animal, every human has this same I, this same thing which sees through the eye. It's formless. It takes, this formless entity is the same entity of us. We are all the same entity in different bodies. And this entity it was represented as the flame, the cosmic flame, which is inside of all of us. And this is why the Masons depicted your spine as a candle or the Holy Grail. You would either see this or a candle with a flame on the top, because the Holy Grail is your consciousness, which is on top of your spine, which is the candle. Now, Jesus, Thoth, Buddha were all these deities which were coming down to lift people up because they were fishermen of men. And he would lift you up to the higher worlds, out of this world, to the ones above. Now Thoth, you can see him here, he's leading the way. He's holding someone and he's leading the way with knowledge and power. He was leading the way to other worlds, out of this world. There's no point trying to change this world. This world will stay the same. It will stay the same. You have to get out of this world, and that's what they're telling you. That's what they're keeping you from. They're keeping you stuck within this thin layer of reality. So what the Masons are doing, they have the ability to astral travel. They're living not stuck and bound to one reality, but living within the different layers of reality. And this is what Morpheus was doing in the Matrix. Morpheus was going into the Matrix to go and get Neo, which is exactly what Jesus was doing, pulling up people out of this world to the ones higher. And that's exactly what Morpheus is doing in the Matrix. If you haven't watched the Matrix, go and watch it. It will blow your mind. Everything I'm saying in this video, you will see it. Except that you don't need to use a machine to enter the Matrix. You just use your body. Well, you use your consciousness to leave this body. You see, Neo was also uploading himself into the simulation to pull people out of the simulation. And this is exactly what all of these gods were doing. The Fisher of Man. Look, he was pulling people up out of this reality with the knowledge. Now, Jesus was always depicted with the mushrooms. Look at all this mushroom art. Mushrooms were literally the origin of Christianity. You can see it everywhere. There's mushrooms in all of the ancient art. Every single one of these paintings you see here, there's mushrooms on them. Mushrooms have the ability to see alternative states of consciousness. Now, if you go and do them, and you go to sleep, if you pop mushrooms, you go to sleep, and you will wake up in another reality. You will wake up in another reality. Don't try it if you don't want to do it. But if you've got the heart to do it, do it. Eat them, and go to sleep. You'll wake up in another reality. And Jesus was handing out mushrooms to the bright minds, to the minds that he wanted to fish out and pull up to the higher realities. He was giving them mushrooms to see themselves in an alternative state, in an alternative reality. This is why there was so much mushroom art, and it's not just ancient Christians. It's Sumerians, it's the Mayans, the Celtics, the Egyptians. All used mushrooms. All of them. Look at all this art. It's on stones. It's everywhere, because mushrooms. See, everything in nature is a macro. Look at the form of a mushroom. It's literally your spine and brain, because they alter your consciousness. Your body is just a radio receiver. Everything that you're experiencing is a program being ran by the central nervous system, and your consciousness is experiencing this program, these electrical impulses of the nervous system, because it's all feeding back to one point, which is the pineal gland. And this is the candle with the light on it. Type in Masonic candle and you'll see it. It's your spine with your spark of consciousness on top of the spine. And it's a mushroom, because this sends you to alternative states of consciousness, alternative realities. Now, they were all doing this, the Egyptians, the Mayans. Now, there's more symbolism which goes into this. Look at the Christmas trees we use. The Christmas tree with the presents underneath them. Magic mushrooms grow under trees. And these are the presents under the trees that we symbolize today with Christmas. Santa's red and yellow for the red and yellow mushrooms. The same mushrooms Mario has to collect, and when he gets enough mushrooms, he levels up. And then what does he do when he go past the world? When you win that world in Mario, you go to another reality. You go inside of another world. It's truth in plain sight, and it's using mushrooms. It's using mushrooms. Everything, all of the characters in Mario, well, a lot of them are mushrooms. Look at this one. The presents, black, yellow, and red and white. Red and white mushrooms. And the bow on the top is the mushroom head. That's a bit of a reach, but, you know, the symbolism never lies, is what you need to understand. And it's as above, so below. Now look at the Sumerians. The Sumerians were also multi-dimensional beings. Okay, look at how they have the double faces. They had 1 foot in this reality and 1 foot in another reality. And look at this one, a double-headed god inside of like a portal. You see? Because and look at these with the wings, the astral travel. Birds, ancient birds symbolize the soul, because the soul is a bird. It flies to different worlds. It flies around the cosmos. And mushrooms gave you the ability to see these alternative states of consciousness, these alternate realities, because you exist in infinite realities. You exist in infinite realities. Now look at the 33rd degree Ordo Ab Chao badge. You get this badge when you become a 33rd degree Freemason, and it's a double-headed eagle. A double-headed eagle. And you can see this in Sumeria first. Sumeria have the same symbol. A double-headed, bird. You can see it here as well. And the Masons are still using this symbol today. And when you become a 33rd degree, 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine, above the vertebrae is your consciousness, and it's a double-headed eagle. One reality in one. You become a multi-dimensional being in the 33rd degree. And I've heard many interviews of Masons say it becomes Luciferian. You see, they speak in code. These Masons can't tell you about what they learn about, but they will speak in code. They said it becomes Luciferian. The word Luciferian is lucid. The root word of Luciferian is lucid, and lucid is lucid dreaming, alternative realities, dream worlds. You become a god. Luciferian means you're becoming your own god, pretty much, because you are becoming a multi-dimensional being living in between the different layers of reality at the 33rd degree of Freemasonry. And look at the double-headed eagle, because the birds symbolize the soul. And they reach high, they fly high, just like the soul wants to fly high to the light, to become one with the light, like the Emerald Tablet says. Now look at Janus. Janus was another god, and he's known as the god of doorways. Janus always depicted with a double head. Janus is why we say janitor or January. And January is entering a new year. Janus is known as the god of doorways with keys, always got a key, because keys open doors. That's why the janitor holds all the keys. And Janus always has double heads, because he had one foot in this reality, one foot in another. He was a multi-dimensional being, a Luciferian, living between the different layers of reality, instead of being stuck in one like we are. Well, a lot of people. And that's the whole point. You see, all of this stuff is about like changing the world and stuff like that. This world will probably never ever change. It's probably been like this forever. Well, forever, for a long time. But it's about moving out of this reality to the higher states. And the Masons always depict the ladder to the luminaries, the stars, with a key, the same key of Janus. The Vatican is a key, and it's in charge of all the religions. Why is it a key? Because they're holding back the key. They're keeping you stuck within this reality, keeping you stuck as identifying yourself with the body, identifying yourself with this world. You are not in the world is within you. This is a program being ran by your central nervous system, and your consciousness is experiencing this reality. Now, this is going to be a mind-blowing video for some people. You have to have an open mind. You have to let go of all the programs. I'm repeating what the ancients are talking about and the ancient symbolism. Look at Janus with the double-headed god. He was just another god coming down, giving keys to people who had the worthy mind to be pulled up out of this reality, to be pulled up to heaven, just like Jesus was teaching how to reach heaven. But really, it's an encoded scripture. But anyways, hope you all gained some insight on this video. Have an amazing day. Please like, share, comment. All the links are in the bio for the PDF, for the Manifestation Mastery course, and all the other amazing stuff. And if you want to support the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you became a Patreon member. Hope you all have an amazing day, people. God bless. There we go. So, yeah, weed can be used for good and it can be used for bad. You can use it to enter deep states of meditation. You can use it to become lazy. If you smoke it every day, you will become lazy and you will shut yourself off from things that you need to address. So you don't want to use it to escape. Okay, so don't escape. Don't use anything to escape your own mind. You must face it. Okay, so what was the next one? What age did you start talking about this stuff, learning about this stuff? It was quite young, to be honest. I started learning deeply into the occult and esoteric about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But before that, I've been always into like conspiracies and stuff like that. So that's mainly what it was. Mainly. That's how I kind of got into it, by looking into conspiracies. What do you think about manifesting? You're always manifesting. Your thoughts are always being brought into physical existence. That's basically what it is. You're using thought energy into physical reality, and that's how everything is manifested. The phone you are holding, the laptop that you're using, the book you're reading, where did these things all begin? They began in the invisible realms of mind. Everything stems from mind. The world you see around you is in the mind of God. We live in a mental universe. Everything is mental. So this is why you need to be careful of what you hear, what you see, what you smell, because everything you take in is molding your mind. The words you say mold your mind. And whatever you mold your mind to, you mold your circumstances to, your life. So your life is basically a result of every thought you thought in the past. So you change your thoughts, and further enough down the line, you'll change your external reality. Your life is a mirror of your mind. It's your mind pushed outwards. So if you fill your mind with negative music, talking about drugs, sex, you're going to fill your life with that. You become the music you listen to. You become what you listen to, because everything affects your mental state. So essentially, it's all about looking after your mind, keeping a pure mind and a pure heart. That's how you truly manifest the desired reality. But people aren't manifesting properly because they're wasting their mental energy. They're wasting their life force energy on low-level pleasures like food, lust, yes, like chasing after low-level pleasures. When you start to master yourself and you master your mind, your body, and your emotions, once you start to master this, you're no longer wasting energy on these low-level pleasures. So when you waste energy on low-level pleasures, and you stop, once you stop doing that, you have then opened up more mental capacity for you to direct this energy into a certain aspect of your life. So this is why it's so important to master your consciousness, master your mind, master your emotions, because you're wasting energy, which could be used for success. It could be used for anything to be created in your life. So that's a big part. So all of it comes together. What was the next one? Do you do Q&A in Ethereal University? Yes, we do. We do Q&As. This is all part of the university. Everything you see, you should see what you get. So in the university, you get the Manifestation Mastery course, which tells you everything about your mind, how to create your own reality, how you can gain the dream life you want. We have a real lectures section where there's like over 50 lectures. New lectures are posted every week. We have a community and live calls and Q&A and a library. So the library is another where you get all of my books plus 45 other occult rare books, and you get updates. So that's what's inside of the university. What was the next question? Do you have an account in Spanish? I have affiliates in Spanish, yes. What's your thoughts on white people not being natural to this planet? We don't live on a planet. We live in, well, you live inside of your body. Your body is a piece of organic technology. Your body produces this reality that you're experiencing. Now, what do I mean? Without your brain, you can't be in this reality. So your body is producing this world. Your body is the earth. Your body is the universe. You are God. You are consciousness. The body is the earth, simulating this reality to your consciousness. So when it comes to your body, it does not matter where you are from. You are the same consciousness. The same consciousness in me is the same consciousness in the rabbit, in the dog, or the so-called melanated person. We are all the exact same consciousness. And once you understand this, once you start to realize that you are not this body is literally just a piece of technology. It's a character you're playing. It's not you. You are the I am. Every single one of us refers to ourselves as I, because I is the all-seeing I, the all-seeing eye of consciousness. This is where we all come from. So you have divine consciousness, then above us is the stars, then you have man. Now, man is very important because man is made in the image of God. We have the ability to expand our consciousness. We have the ability to move above our instinctual survival mode. Now, what do I mean? Animals are stuck in survival. They use their creative ability, because we all have the ability to bring thought into physical reality. Animals only use this creative power of mind to survive. But humans can surpass this. And this is everything I teach is about getting out of the lower self, getting out of the animal self. And once you conquer this animal self, this lower mind that wants the food, the money, the fame, the power, and sex, once you destroy this lower self, you then have the ability to expand your consciousness to understand very complex things. So humans possess the ability to know God and know the secrets of the universe. This is why humans are so important. This is why humans are made in the image of God. We can expand our minds into infinite fields of knowledge. Now, the mind cannot be filled. It is not a physical thing. It exists beyond time and space and matter. The mind isn't made out of atoms. Thoughts are not made out of atoms. So the mind can infinitely expand into new fields of knowledge, new fields of thought, far beyond the current field of thought that you are in now. But the universe is completely mental. And once you completely understand that, you'll see what I'm saying. Some people might not see what I'm saying because their mind will not, have that understanding, but some people will understand. How to activate your pineal gland. Your pineal gland, well, your third eye is your mind. It's not your pineal gland. So your mind is the third eye. Your consciousness is the eye, the third eye. It's not the pineal gland. So the pineal gland is like a radio receiver for your consciousness, for the mind. So when the pineal gland is obviously attacked through the food and the water that we drink. Hold on, let me just open the window. So when it's attacked, it becomes weaker and weaker. And this kind of interrupts with the connection. It's an antenna, it has crystals on it. So your radio, your phone, all uses crystals to pick up frequencies. It's like a radio receiver for your consciousness, because your consciousness is already outside of the body. You're already outside of the body. Your body is a state of consciousness. It's a body of consciousness. The mind is a body of consciousness. Emotions is a body of consciousness. But there is pure consciousness, which is above thought, above emotion, above the body, above all these things, is the pure source. So to activate it, first of all, you need to go on a detox. You know, go on a detox of a fruit detox. Make sure it's organic fruit. If you're struggling to get your minerals in, take sea moss as well. So just go on a fruit and sea moss diet for a couple of weeks, and you won't lose weight, you'll lose impurities. You'll flush out everything out of your body for a couple of weeks. Drink fresh